Alright guys, Tom here, Permaculture Wilmington. I am taking my katuk out, putting it in a bucket with some soil, and I've already had the bucket. It was actually full of stuff. Lots of plants were growing in it. So that's what I usually do, is fill buckets up or pots, and then I'll plant plants in them, like cover crops and things, clover, and that way, in daikon radish, and you guys know the mix, like the biodynamic cover crops. But that keeps the soil going, nutrient cycling. So whenever I'm ready to actually plant in it, the soil will be already active and doing what it needs to be doing. So right now I've got an issue with my hydroponics. It's the pH is perfect. Trying to do the biological method instead of chemical method. Organic hydroponics instead of the chemical synthetics. So for some reason, I think the solution is just too hot right now. It's middle of August, so it's getting up into the mid 80s, and the solution that's in here should be more like 70s, low to high 70s. You know, once it starts getting into 80, we start getting some plant issues. But I mean, the rest of them are doing fine. It's really just, this is just one plant right here. And it's been yellowing. I've been putting compost tea in the bucket directly. I even put a little bokashi in there yesterday just to see if I could bring it back a little bit. But you know, this is just hydroponics, man. Like, you know, tomatoes, we've got tomatoes all over the place. So like they're doing really well in the soil, and just in 5-gallon buckets. None of these are actually planted in the ground. So these are all in 2-gallon buckets, and or pots, 2-gallon pots, and these are 5-gallon buckets here. And there's like 3 or 4 more buckets over there, and a bunch of pots. So we got a lot of tomatoes, and they're growing really well. So I can grow a tomato, but this thing, for some reason, doing it the biological way with compost tea instead of putting synthetics in it, it's a little bit of a trick because the microbes are doing everything. And you know, it's hard to tell if the right microbes are in there, because this is an aquatic environment, and I've been trained to do soil environment. So it's a little bit different, but it's just a learning thing, man, learning process. So, but yeah, get this back in here so it looks right for you guys. But yeah, I'm gonna take this katuk out and put it in here because we really care about the katuk. We want to make sure that's doing well, and it's hard to get katuk rooted for some reason. It just takes forever, like a couple months sometimes. This one was good. It did it in about maybe 3 weeks to a month. So that was nice. We're gonna just pull that right out. Try not to break any of those roots. Woo, look at all that. I haven't even seen these because I didn't want to hurt it. But yeah, so that's a good amount of root. Outstanding. And we're gonna get this back in soil and see if it'll start nutrient cycling. So that, what you're seeing there on the leaves is chlorosis, where the plant has pulled nutrition out of those leaves to make the meristem on top and to support the new growth that it's trying to put out. So basically it's not getting what it needs, and I need to get it out of there if I want to keep it, because it could go either way. I mean, the solution's at a perfect 7.0 though. It should be a little more acidic. So I'm thinking maybe I just need a little more fungi, maybe put some more bokashi in, and that'll put more yeast in, and the yeast will bring the